I can't use most airplane lavatories, and neither can many other plus-size individuals.
Holy f, bro, if it's to the point where you can't even fit into an aeroplane bathroom, then something is seriously wrong with your health. This whole fat acceptance movement is really making it so people can't even fit into aeroplane bathrooms. Now look, as someone that's 6'1", I can understand that aeroplanes can be kinda tight. But bro, this person's clearly just put this on themselves. Alright everyone, welcome back. Today, fat acceptance TikTok got even worse. I've made a few videos about different fat acceptance TikTokers in the past, which for those that don't know, is pretty much some movement where morbidly obese people sit around and make excuses about why they're fat, saying that it isn't their fault, when it clearly is, and try to glorify it by saying that it's not that bad and that it's even healthy at some point. Today's landmass that we're going to be looking at is one of the more well-known fat acceptance TikTokers out there, and that is Jay Bay Official, who specializes in the field of flying and plus-size travel. Kinda funny coming from someone that has never flown 3 inches off the ground without a motor-powered machine before, or walked faster than a fucking snail. So anyway, I found the absolute worst videos from Jay Bay, the plus-size traveler, whatever the hell that means, that I could possibly find. So let's see just how bad these can get.
Every time I use a rideshare, I'm forced to ride without a seatbelt because there are no seatbelt extenders.
Well, let me stop you right there before you start playing the victim. Whose fucking fault is that? Realistically, if I was a rideshare, we're gonna say Uber driver for the sake of this video, and you walked into my car asking for a seatbelt extender, ain't no fucking way I just have that on standby. Clearly, most Uber drivers aren't gonna be supplied to handle situations like this that are way out of their league. I'd reckon if I was an Uber driver and you asked me for a seatbelt extender, I wouldn't know what the fuck to do.
It's time to make it mandatory for ride shares to provide seatbelt extenders. Read the caption for more.
I don't think I will. Do you actually think that, first of all, this silly little TikTok that you've made is actually gonna get people to do something about this and try to get seatbelt extenders mandatory in Ubers? And secondly, even if something like this were to happen, this doesn't change the fact that we're providing a service for someone that made themselves need it. I'm just gonna say it right now, bro. You've chosen to be fat, Jay. The way the world works is that if you eat more calories than you consume, you get larger. So if this woman wants to actually try and make an argument saying that she's been given this body and that people need to accommodate for her, then it's just bullshit. We shouldn't have to make policies and things that are mandatory for people that have chosen to be that certain way. It just doesn't make sense.
First, I don't think tall people should have to pay extra for seats that accommodate them either. There's a difference between paying for extra legroom solely for comfort and needing it to be safe. And fly with dignity.
Okay, here we fucking go. So the context here is that this girl Jay Bay thinks that all fat people should be provided with extra aeroplane seats to accommodate them, which you might think is okay, but the problem here is that Jay thinks that fat people shouldn't have to pay for those extra seats. They should just get them for free because they're fat. I mean, seriously, the entitlement from that one alone is just outrageous. Thinking that because you've lived your life comfortably and ballooned yourself to be morbidly obese that you deserve special treatment. If anything, it should be the fucking opposite. So in this video here, someone commented, I'm 6'6" and have to pay for extra room. If you need it, you can pay for it. This is absolutely true, and honestly, if only one of these people could get a free upgrade, whether it be the tall person or the fat person, it should absolutely be the guy who's taller. Because the guy who's taller didn't choose to be 6'6", he was just born that way and became that tall. However, Jay here in this example chose to be fat. You shouldn't be given special treatment if you've chosen to be that way.
Why is it that when average-sized people bring up airplane seats being too small, it's valid? But when plus-size people bring it up, they're the villain? Explain that.
I mean, do you need me to fucking spell it out to you? You've chosen to be fat, Jay. The tall person or average-sized person didn't choose to be that way. If the average-sized person has a problem with seats, then it's valid because it's a problem for most normal, socially acceptable-sized people. But just being completely real here, if you don't fit into an aeroplane seat, whether that be because you have too much muscle on you or you're too fat, then you don't fit in as a normal people size. And you either have to change that by losing the weight or put up with buying the extra plane seats every time you fly. There's no gimmies in this world just because you think you deserve it, Jay.
People ask me if I purchase seats when flying. They say it's not fair to the person who has to sit next to me if I don't. When I tell them I do, they say I'm selfish for taking a seat from another. The fact of the matter is that people can't stand to see fat people happy. So why should we care what they think?
Okay, I'm actually mixed on this one. So Jay here is saying that she actually does pay for 2 seats on an airplane whenever she flies, which in my personal opinion, if you're actually paying for the extra seats, you can have them, bro. You've got every right to do that, and I don't think anyone should be stopping people from doing that. But the problem with Jay is that she's not happy about that. She doesn't like it and thinks that it's unfair that she has to pay for 2 seats. I mean, from the airline's perspective, bro, it's just simple maths. They don't care who buys the seat and who takes up the seat, whether it's one half of Jay or nobody. As long as someone's paying for that seat, they don't give a shit, bro. If there's 200 seats on an airplane and only 199 passengers, but one of those passengers bought 2 seats, they're still gonna make the same profit if 200 people bought 1 seat. In fact, they're probably gonna profit more because they don't have to accommodate for food and whatnot for as many people. Although looking at Jay, she'd probably eat the complimentary snacks 4 fucking times.
Recently, I had a distressing experience at Chicago O'Hare Airport.
Of course you fucking did. Everything's distressing to you, isn't it, Jay? Fucking hell, this victim mentality is getting out of control.
I faced a significant challenge when trying to get to baggage claim. The only option was to go through a revolving door. We pressed the button to slow it down for people with disabilities, but as soon as we entered, we got stuck. I'm claustrophobic and began to panic, frantically motioning to the staff for help. They just stared at me, offering no assistance. A passerby noticed our struggle and tried to help, but the airport staff remained unresponsive.
Well, I mean, that seems like a situation I'd probably sit and laugh at, to be honest. Okay, let me actually be kind of nice here. The airport staff are kind of wrong for that, I'm not gonna lie. Look, as much as I've dunked on this woman throughout this video, I do agree that airport staff that are on the job should be helping people get off the plane and not just standing there if someone gets stuck. But now back onto you, J-Bay. If you're seriously that large that you can't fit through a revolving door, then how the fuck do you expect to navigate normal life? You've clearly got higher priorities with your health rather than worrying about some situation like this.
You gym rats love to troll in my TikTok comments, saying all kinds of things about bigger women. But guess what? Those same guys are sliding into my Tinder messages every single day.
Okay, holy sweet mother of God, this shit's gotta be a joke, right? God fucking damn, Montgomery, there's no way we're doing this shit right now. Please put some damn clothes on. I mean, bro, she has to be trolling, right? I can't even imagine in my head a man on the planet sliding up into your Tinder DMs. I mean, let's go over this and state some facts here. Firstly, you're morbidly obese, and normally with people that are a little less attractive, it's okay because they have some redeeming qualities about them, like being smart, being funny, being kind, having a good personality, just generally being a decent person to be around. How many of those qualities, though, do we think that J-Bay over here has? Fucking 0 of them. So at the end of the day, apart from her just being a woman, what is really attractive about this girl? And listen, bro, I'm not saying all this to be mean, bro. I wasn't gonna bring up any of this. But when you're sitting there making a video saying that guys calling you big slide into your DMs, I just have to say that that's fucking cap. Anyways, I'm done with J-Bay Official. Click the video on screen right now because YouTube thinks you'll enjoy it, and I'll see you all over there. Subscribe.